Picture this, you're 16,000 feet in the sky and suddenly a door plug blows off your plane. That's precisely the terrifying scenario that unfolded on January 5th, 2024, aboard a Boeing 737 MAX 9 operated by Alaska Airlines. With 171 passengers and crew on board, the mid-flight blowout incident forced the aircraft to make an emergency landing in Portland, Oregon. Imagine the shock and fear that must have gripped the passengers when they realized what was happening. The sudden change in cabin pressure, the whipping wind, the deafening noise, all while thousands of feet above solid ground. It's the stuff of nightmares, something you never expect when you board a plane. The pilots and flight attendants, trained for emergencies, jumped into action, guiding the passengers, maintaining calm, and assisting where needed. They managed to land the plane safely in Portland, but the incident was far from over. It was just the beginning. In the wake of the mid-flight blowout, investigators started contacting some passengers, informing them they might be victims of a crime. This information must have been a chilling revelation, transforming their traumatic experience into something even more sinister. The incident has triggered a massive probe into airline safety, placing Boeing in the center of a criminal investigation. The Justice Department is scrutinizing whether Boeing has met the requirements of settlements reached after two deadly crashes in 2018 and 2019. If not, Boeing could face prosecution for defrauding the US. This mid-flight blowout incident has become a significant chapter in an ongoing saga of scrutiny and investigation into one of the world's largest aerospace manufacturers. The Justice Department is not taking this incident lightly. In fact, it has swung into full investigative mode, launching a criminal probe into the mid-flight blowout incident involving a Boeing 737 MAX operated by Alaska Airlines. This investigation is part of a larger picture, a heightened scrutiny of Boeing's safety record following fatal crashes in the years 2018 and 2019. It's not just the Department of Justice that's digging deeper. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, has identified non-compliance issues in Boeing's manufacturing process. The company has been given a tight 90-day window to correct these manufacturing discrepancies. This, coupled with a separate FAA report highlighting concerns about Boeing's safety culture, paints a grim picture indeed. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, is conducting its own investigation and has criticized Boeing for lack of cooperation. NTSB officials fear that Justice Department involvement may hinder their investigation. But the stakes are high, and the Justice Department is informing passengers that they may be victims of a crime. Investigators have contacted passengers, pilots, and flight attendants, seeking to determine if Boeing has complied with a previous settlement related to the crashes in 2018 and 2019. The outcome of this investigation may not result in formal charges of wrongdoing, but it will certainly inform a Justice Department review of whether Boeing has met the requirements of the settlements reached after the devastating crashes. If Boeing is found to have not met the terms of the settlement, then the company could be prosecuted on account of defrauding the United States. This latest development adds to Boeing's woes, which already include a civil investigation and other recent high-profile incidents involving its jets. Boeing may be facing more than just a PR nightmare if they have not met the terms of previous settlements. Imagine being told you might be the victim of a crime while soaring thousands of feet above the ground. This chilling reality was faced by 171 passengers aboard the Boeing 737 MAX 9 flight on that fateful January 5th day. In the midst of what started as an ordinary journey, a door plug blew off mid-flight, plunging them into a nightmare scenario. One passenger recalled the sudden deafening noise that filled the cabin, followed by a rush of cold air. Another spoke of the fear that gripped them as the plane began its emergency descent, the ground rushing up to meet them far too quickly. "It's the kind of thing you see in movies, not something you expect to experience yourself," they said. In the aftermath, as the shock subsided, came a sense of betrayal. Many passengers expressed disbelief and anger when they learned that the incident was not merely a random failure, but potentially the result of criminal negligence. "We trusted them with our lives," one passenger said, "and they let us down." In the wake of this harrowing event, some passengers found their voice in the courtroom. 6 passengers have taken legal action against Boeing, seeking justice for the trauma they endured. Their lawsuit, they say, is not just about compensation, but about holding those responsible to account. "We want to make sure this never happens to anyone else," one plaintiff stated. Yet amid the anger and the fear, there's a glimmer of hope. These passengers, united by their shared ordeal, are determined to fight for change. They're calling for stricter safety regulations, for transparency from airlines, and for justice to be served. For these passengers, this was more than just a turbulent flight. While passengers felt the fear, the crew faced the challenge head-on. As the cabin door plug blew out at 16,000 feet, the flight crew of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 had to act swiftly and decisively. They were the frontliners, tasked with the daunting responsibility of ensuring the safety of 171 souls on board. In discussions with the flight crew, the pilots, and flight attendants, we get a glimpse into their world during that fateful flight. Their recounting of events paints a picture of urgency, professionalism, and composed action under pressure. As one pilot shared, "You train for these situations, but when it happens, it's about staying calm and following procedures." The flight attendants too faced their own challenges. Their primary role shifted from ensuring passenger comfort to ensuring passenger safety. One flight attendant shared, "We had to reassure passengers while managing our own fear. It's not just about serving coffee at 30,000 feet." Their thoughts on flight safety were sobering. They believe in the systems and protocols established for such emergencies, but also acknowledge that safety is a shared responsibility. It's not just about the manufacturer or the airline, it's about everyone involved in aviation, from the ground crew to the control tower, playing their part, said a veteran flight attendant. The ongoing investigation has been met with mixed reactions from the crew. While some appreciate the thoroughness of the probe, others express concern about the potential impact on the aviation industry. As one pilot put it, "It's crucial to find out what went wrong, but it's equally important to remember that flying remains one of the safest ways to travel." The crew's swift response to the mid-flight blowout on January 5th was crucial in averting a potential catastrophe. Their actions serve as a reminder of the importance of training, preparedness, and the human element in aviation safety. Their quick actions and professionalism prevented a major disaster. They were the calm in the chaos, the steady hands guiding a troubled flight to safety. As we delve deeper into Boeing's troubles, let's not forget the heroes of flight, the crew who keep us safe in the skies every day. This isn't the first time Boeing has found itself under scrutiny. The company's history is marred by incidents that have caused great concern over the years. Two fatal crashes in 2018 and 2019 were particularly devastating. The first saw a MAX 8, operated by Indonesia's Lion Air, plunge into the Java Sea in October of 2018. Then, in March of 2019, an Ethiopian Airlines 737 MAX 8 crashed nearly straight down into a field just 6 minutes after takeoff from Addis Ababa. These tragedies claimed the lives of 346 people. In the wake of these crashes, Boeing reached a settlement with the FBI and the Transportation Department, a whopping $2.5 billion at stake. As part of this settlement, they admitted that two former employees had misled the FAA about how much training a new flight control system would require. This was a significant admission, a sobering acknowledgement of a lack of transparency that could have contributed to the loss of hundreds of lives. It was agreed then that Boeing would meet certain conditions as part of this settlement. This was more than just a financial arrangement. It was a commitment to change, a promise to prioritize safety and transparency in all future operations. But now, with the recent mid-flight blowout incident, questions are being asked. Has Boeing truly met these conditions? Have they lived up to their promises? The looming criminal investigation will seek to answer these questions. If the Justice Department finds that Boeing has violated the terms of the settlement, the consequences could be severe. They could face prosecution on the original count of defrauding the United States. Boeing's past could come back to haunt them if they failed to meet these conditions. The stakes are high, not just for Boeing, but for the entire aviation industry. Trust, once lost, is hard to regain, and the world is watching. This investigation could have far-reaching implications for Boeing and the entire airline industry. As we face the turbulence of this ongoing probe, we can't help but reflect on what the future might hold for Boeing. If found to have violated the terms of their prior settlement, Boeing could face prosecution on account of defrauding the United States. This is a heavy cloud that looms over the company, and it could potentially impact their reputation in the long run. Yet, this is not just about one company. The outcome of this investigation could ripple across the entire airline industry, potentially leading to stricter safety regulations and more rigorous manufacturing processes. It may prompt a re-evaluation of quality control measures and a renewed emphasis on compliance. Indeed, this could be a pivotal moment for the industry, sparking a shift towards a more robust culture of safety. It's also worth noting the potential impact on the traveling public. The confidence of passengers is paramount, and incidents like these can shake that trust. However, it's important to remember that these investigations, while prompted by unfortunate incidents, are ultimately about improving safety. They are about ensuring that when we board an aircraft, we can trust that every possible measure has been taken to ensure our safe arrival. In the midst of this storm, there is also potential silver lining. This could be a turning point for Boeing, an opportunity to reassess and reaffirm their commitment to safety and quality. It could be a chance for the company to rebuild trust and demonstrate that they are worthy of the flying public's confidence. The skies may seem less friendly for Boeing, but the hope is that this incident leads to safer flights for all. As we follow the investigation, one thing is clear. The recent mid-flight incident involving a Boeing 737 MAX jetliner has sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. The Justice Department's criminal probe is now intensifying scrutiny on Boeing's safety record. Passengers, pilots, and flight attendants are being contacted, and documents are being reviewed. The outcome of this case could have wide-reaching implications, not only for Boeing, but for the entire aviation industry. In the wake of this incident and the tragic crashes of 2018 and 2019, it is clear that safety and quality control must be prioritized above all else. The unsettling reality that a door plug could blow out mid-flight has understandably left many feeling uneasy. It highlights the urgent need for rigorous checks and balances within the manufacturing process and stringent compliance with safety standards. As for Boeing, meeting the terms of the 2021 settlement is not only a legal requirement, but also a crucial step towards rebuilding trust. The company's response to this incident will be a defining moment for its future. It's a stark reminder that the stakes in the aviation industry are astronomically high. The journey to safer skies may be turbulent, but the destination is worth the ride.